got a bottle of ego and a fistful of cash. Hid away incognito. This time I'll make it last. Oh.
We are honored and excited to have the legendary drummer Steven Adler on the line with Forever in Metal. We're going to discuss his latest CD and much more. How's it going, Steven?
It's going wonderful, and I got my guitar player from our new album, back from the dead Lonny Paul with us. Say hello.
How's it going, guys?
How's it going, man?
One.
Good.
Actually, it's beyond wonderful. It's friggin' amazing. We are so
Awesome, and that's a segue into my immediate question. How does it feel to be back?
It's wonderful. So far, the record just came out yesterday, November 26th, and today's the 27th, and we have got nothing but just wonderful, amazing, wonderful responses, and we couldn't be happier. I mean, we did what we wanted to do. I know the band's called Adler, but this is a band. This is I couldn't do this on my own. If I didn't have my partner Lonny and Jacob and Johnny Martin with me, this wouldn't have ever happened. So we're all very excited from the response we begin, and we hope everybody loves and enjoys listening to the music as much as we had fun and enjoyed playing it and recording it.
Well, it seems like, judging by all the reviews that have come out and the interviews that you guys have already done, there is that great chemistry that happened in the studio. The reviews are astronomical as far as the great reviews that have come out about the album. So that is a testament, for you guys functioning as a band and having that chemistry going into the studio and knowing what you wanted to accomplish.
Yeah, that's every musician's dream, is to be able to write and play music that everybody enjoys. And I don't think, the last time I remember ever recording with anybody that we ever said, ho, ho, ho is magic as many times as when we did Appetite for Destruction. I mean, I don't think a band ever slapped each other on the butts and high-fived and said that was fucking magic as many times as we have, as we did in the studio. And what you're getting, what you're listening to, is basically, Jeff Pilson, from Dokken and Foreigner. He plays bass on everything. He produced it. He's like our father of the band, or our big brother. Let's take it. He's the big brother of the band. And everything you're listening to is he said, okay, recording, and I went 1, 2, 3, go. And that's what you're getting. It's live. You cannot I dare anybody to try and use a click track to any song on this record. It's just all live, it's all feeling, it's all fun, it's all anger, it's all excitement. It's everything. And I hope everybody can hear and feel what we're feeling and hearing when we're recording it.
Well, that's a great thing that you said that about Jeff Pilson, because that was a question that I was going to ask. What was it like recording with him being the producer? You pretty much, I think, hammered, the nail as far as your explanation, as far as him being part of the recording process.
Oh, I can't emphasize enough how much fun and how magical it was. Everybody was on the same page. It just happened. And Lonny, can you explain this better? Because you were there too.
Well, Jeff made I've always been of the opinion that when you're recording, it's best that you feel comfortable, and that's exactly what Jeff made all of us feel is extremely comfortable, so we can concentrate on just making a great record.
Well, with you saying that, I think it's probably because with most producers that are in the studio are not in bands and haven't really played in a band for the most part. So with Jeff's expertise, I think he probably brought the band and musician aspect into the recording studio and knew how important this album would be to everybody that's in the band. So it's great to hear that he helped, you guys get in there, and you guys really jammed. As far as what I've been able to hear, from top to bottom, the production quality, the lyrical content, and what you wanted to kind of lay out for the fans to hear, and that's just a great rock and roll album, which I think is lacking in today's music. So you guys did an amazing job.
Thank you, brother. Well, the world needs a new rock and roll band and a bunch and new rock and roll heroes, because it hasn't been out there. But to go back to Jeff, Jeff is going to win awards for his bass playing on this record. I told him I will give you 25 cents if you don't win an award by November 26th of 2013. Okay, he was so wonderful to work with, and it was just magic.
That's good to hear.
And I know it might sound corny to some people, but once I started taking responsibility for my life, and God just started bringing people into my life that I needed to have in my life. And Jeff and Lonnie and Jacob and Johnny Martin and Jay Ruston and Doug Weber and Jason Fowley, everybody, I was given not just a second chance, but an amazing second chance. And I'm having an opportunity to work with such great, wonderful people. I have such a wonderful team. I know, it sounds like, because of the name of the band Adler, that it's Steven Adler, like I'm like Phil Collins, where I go in the studio and I everything. I'm not. This is a team, and I am so blessed to have such a great team. And wait, what are you doing, Lonnie? Sorry. I have such a great team, and I couldn't feel more blessed. And I have to thank Joel Osteen, Reverend Joel Osteen, who helped me get back to thinking and believing the way I did when I was younger, and to help bring those feelings back. I had to let everybody in my past go. And now, once I let everybody go, everything just started coming together. Once I let everybody go and took responsibility for my life, everything started coming together.
Well, it's important that you hit on that, because they say God works in mysterious ways, and letting everything go allows you to kind of clear your mind and focus on you and focusing on what you've wanted to accomplish. And you deserve that. You were at the height and the peak of the 80s and a legendary band and everything else. And I think that the fan base and your fans have been waiting for something like this to come about, but you had to kind of, like you said, let go of your past, get everybody out of your past so you can focus on bigger and better things, and that's having a clear mind and going forward and being able to have the right unit around you so you can put out an amazing rock and roll album.
Exactly. I couldn't have said that better. That's exactly what I did, and exactly what I needed to do. And I couldn't feel more blessed. And everybody in my life, like you said, was brought to me for a reason, and is an accessory to everything that is happening.
All right, so let's kind of walk through and let's talk about your bandmates. Tell us a brief story how they ended up recording the album with you so everybody can kind of become familiar with who's in your band, where they came from, and how the process was having them come into the band and function as a unit.
Okay, well, I'm going to let Lonnie Paul tell you this, because he put this band together with me. So
Okay.
it's like we're Siamese twins of rock. I couldn't do this without him. He couldn't do this without me. But he did all the work. I just have the name. So, Lonnie Paul, you're out.
Well, basically, I joined Adler's Appetite.
Talk to Lonnie for a little bit.
All right, no problem, man.
Thanks, brother.
Basically,
You're welcome.
I met with Steven last summer on his 2 weeks before his last Adler's Appetite tour. Hopped on the bus. We were on the bus for 2 months, and during that time, Steven and I became best friends. We got back into town, and he said he wanted to start something new. He got rid of everybody but me. So through our mutual friend Jay Ruston, we met Jacob Benton actually at Janie Lane's memorial at the Key Club. I ran into Jay Ruston there and told him we were looking for a singer, and he said, I know the perfect singer. His name is Jacob Benton. I met him that night. 2 nights later, or 2 days later, I brought Steven to meet him. Steven agreed just on the spot. He said, this is the guy. So, right after that, I was at a Christmas party at Jeff Pilson's house and asked him if he would play bass on a couple tracks, just so we could kind of find our sound, and obviously he ended up liking the material and ended up producing our whole record. And Jay Ruston mixed it, of course. And then after that, after the record was done, we needed a live bass player, so an old friend of mine, Johnny Martin, I invited him over to the house to meet Steven. Johnny immediately picked up one of the basses that was hanging on my wall and started playing, and within just a minute, Steven said, that's the guy.
Well, that's awesome. You can tell from, the single that's been released with the sound quality from top to bottom, the production of the drums, the way that the vocals kind of flow in and out, the harmonies and everything else. And after listening to it, the first thing that came to mind is, why is this not all over the radio waves? I mean, it's better than anything that's out there. And not just in my opinion, but I think the resounding opinion of rock and roll fans, across the board. We need to, kind of push this stuff to get it to be on a normal, radio play, because it's that good. It's a pure rock and roll album.
Wow, thank you so much. Well, we're trying to get it out there, and we appreciate everything you're doing to do the same.
Oh, of course. I mean, the social media circles that will kind of push this once they're able to grab it, from the Reverb Nation to the YouTube to the Facebooks to the Twitter, doing interviews, being as accessible as you guys are at this current time, and being able to reach out to fans and say, hey, not only we're back, but we put out a quality release rather than, all this garbage that's been coming out. And it's hard for bands that have been in the circuit for a long time and kind of left and to come back to put out something that's quality. And I think with the Adler album has basically kind of debunked all that. If you're focused, you're in the studio, you have the right people behind you, you're going to put something out that's quality. And having the live aspect to it, I think lacks, because with all the Pro Tools and all the software that you can put together, music kind of sounds like it's, recording a piece here, a piece here, a piece there, and then put together. And then when the band goes live, it just doesn't sound the same. So it's good that you guys kept the live feel.
Well, Jeff was real adamant. He didn't want to use beat beat detection. He said, because that would suck the life out of the drums, and that is exactly where we get the feel. That's how, in our opinion, because I shared this view with Jeff, and we all did, that to me and us was the backbone to, and the backbeat to Appetite for Destruction, and we wanted to capture that same feel as far as, just carrying along the beat. So we owe that to Steven's feel, and Jeff stayed out of the way.
Well, that's really good to hear. And most of the time, as producers get in there and they're like, no, you have to do it this way. And I think technology gets in the way a lot of music nowadays, and it's really the sound, the band is driven by the technology aspect of it. So it's really good and a pleasure to hear that pretty much you guys have stuck with what needed to be done, and that's use a live approach with the drums and no click tracks and, anything else. And I think that goes, with the testament to say that having a veteran like Jeff in there who is in a band, who's played and knows what to do, kind of, allowed that to happen, and the band said okay, and you guys ran with it. So it's really awesome.
Yeah, and Jay Ruston also did an incredible job mixing and really brought out the production once it was recorded.
Yeah, I can't, leave him out in the mix either. So, like I said, I listen to a lot of different styles of music, new and old, and the clarity of this, I was not surprised, but with today, he kind of loses a little bit of the luster with the recording. Something's too low, something's too high, but it was an even mix. Like I said, from the drums to the bass, the guitar to the vocals, everything was a perfect mix, and the clarity is all there.
Oh, we had a great team.
Good deal. Now, you had a couple of guest appearances on there by Slash and John 5. How did that come about? Because John 5 is, obviously, with, he played with Marilyn Manson. He has a solo stuff. He's a known shredder. So having seen him in the credits of the song I kind of was taken aback a little bit. And you can elaborate with him and then also go into the Slash element as well.
Well, the John 5 came about because Stephen's wife and John's wife are friends, and that's really how it started. And then soon as Stephen became friends with John, that's about the time that we started recording the record. And obviously, that was a logical step to ask him if he wanted to come down and lay a solo on a song. And he immediately said yes. We sent him the song "Good to Be Bad." He came in a day or two later, just laid it down almost first take. And the rest is history. And the Slash thing happened in a similar way. I mean, obviously, Slash and Stephen had grown up together, so that wasn't as much of a stretch. But still, I'm certain that Slash wouldn't have played on the record had he not believed in the song.
Yeah, because, they both are, very busy. Slash has his album out. J5 is, touring, with Rob Zombie and doing his solo things, too. So it was really cool to see those two come in and, put their little trademarks on there and make it, fresh as well.
Slash turned to me and Jacob in the studio when he came down, and he said, "Why aren't you recording the solo on this song?" And I turned to him and I said, "Because my name's not Slash." And not because of you.
Well, that was a very good answer. So he's a great rock, guitar player, legendary, just as well as Stephen is. So that was a very good answer.
And it wasn't just because of his name; it was because he brings that element.
Yeah, he does.
You know who's playing that damn guitar when you hear him playing.
Yeah, he's very unique with his sound and his playing style, and he's got that just. There's certain guitar players you can kind of, when you listen and you can close your eyes, you can kind of pick them out immediately. And he's one of those guitar players. His sound and his style resonates in anything that he plays.
And what's funny about that is I'm truly convinced that it's in his hands because he was using the same damn guitar I was playing. He used the same damn amp that I was playing. He just brings out that feel.
And feel is hard to come by. Like I said, I listen to a lot of genres of music, and a lot of it's very guitar driven. And feel is very essential in music. And I think there's a lot of technically sound guys that can run up and down the guitar, within a blink of an eye. But it's that feel that will bring that element to a song. And when you can make a guitar cry, hitting just a couple of notes, I think that's a lot more instrumental into the song process, in my opinion.
I couldn't agree more.
Awesome. Now, there are a lot of great songs on the album. Is there a song that means the most to you on the CD, where it's like, this lyric, the structure of the song really hits home with me?
Oh, honestly, I think we all love every single song equally. They're all so much different than the next. It's really hard to answer that question. All
right. So let's go this route. What was the song that was the most fun to record?
That's another hard one because they were all such a maybe Back from the Dead because it was so upbeat and just slamming.
Okay.
I personally love the opening riff on the guitar. I just had a blast playing that. And even when I was playing it, I was just going da 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 when you go da-da-da, slide that and just made it more interesting and more fun. And that's basically how the whole record was recorded. We'd come up with these ideas, and Jeff and Jacob, everybody would jump in and just suggest different things, and it really truly was a team effort. Every single note, literally.
Well, again, you can, going backwards, as far as the way our conversation has gone, you can really hear that, I think, with the band as a unit, because as we all know, even with, Stephen's past band, that each one just kind of brought their own element, and some of it didn't really come together as their career has progressed. But I think with this one, that everybody came together, and you can tell there is that unity, you can tell that there is that chemistry, and you can tell that there is that type of fun-spirited atmosphere while recording the album. I think I might listen to things a little bit differently because I love music, and I do play music as well. So I kind of listen to, the type and the style of how things were recorded a little bit more than most, but you can tell that if there was that chemistry and you guys had fun doing it.
We absolutely did, yes. Thank you.
Now, the title of the album, it's been hit on a little bit more, but I want you to elaborate on what that means as far as selecting the title of the album and what that means as far as, whether it's pieced together with Stephen or as the whole of the band as far as the title of this new CD goes.
Well, everybody knows Stephen's past. He hasn't... He's done things, but he stayed out of the big spotlight the last 20 years, and we just kind of thought, you're back from the dead because some people had written him off. So we thought this would be the perfect title for the whole record to just kind of sum up what we did here.
Yeah, I think that kind of, like I said, not to beat the term down, but hammers the nail, as far as that goes. So I don't think he was necessarily, from the dead. I just, like you said, he stayed out of the limelight, for a while, and it's good that he's really back, and he had to, obviously focus on what he really wanted to focus on. So I think that kind of really is a really great title for the album.
Thank you.
It enunciates it quite a bit. Now, you guys debuted your band on the Kiss Cruise. How was the Kiss Cruise, and what was the reaction to the band on the ship?
The Kiss Cruise was amazing. We could not have asked for a better way to start this new project. The reaction, my favorite reaction, was after the first show, half a dozen people came up to us saying they didn't know what to expect. They kind of expected us to just play a bunch of Guns N' Roses songs, but by the end of the set, they said that they couldn't care less about Guns N' Roses and they were into the new band, which is that was the biggest compliment we could ever possibly imagine on getting.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I mean, the cruises are the things to do nowadays because you have a like audience. They're all in one spot. You get to intermingle with the fans. I've done the Monsters of Rock cruise. I'm doing it again. I'm going into 2013. That would be a great fit for you guys to get yourself on either, I don't know if there's any room on the 2013, but the Monsters of Rock Cruise 2014, because the cruises are the way to go nowadays. So it's good you guys had that experience.
We've actually been talking to them, so yes, you might expect us on the next one.
That's awesome. Yeah, I talked to Larry quite a bit as well, and you guys would definitely be a great fit. There's been a cry out for you guys, believe it or not, when they did the poll. What about Adler? What about Adler? He's got a new CD coming out. Let's get him on the ship. So we know that, everything works behind the scenes, and it's just a matter of scheduling to get you guys on there. Now, are there any tour dates? I know you guys did a few select dates here and there, and you did the cruise, but are you guys planning on launching a tour, whether you're going to open for somebody or hopefully headline for somebody? Anything in the works?
Nothing that we can actually talk about other than, first of all, our managers and agents are working on stuff right now, putting together some tour stuff. The only thing that we can mention right now is that we're playing a few shows in Tokyo, Japan with Duff's band Loaded.
Wow, that's really cool. Everything happens overseas. I'm like, I wish I could, teleport myself to all these different locations because everything, it blows up over there. I think it's because maybe they don't, get it as much as we do. And we're, as fans over here, we're very, very fickle as far as what we want to do. But that's really cool. It would be kind of neat to get, Slash's band, Duff's band, and your band to do kind of like a, 3-tier tour and then, all jam together, have an all-star jam at the end.
That would be a dream come true. We're all thinking the same way.
No, that's awesome, and it's good to hear that at least, the majority of the members still talk and have that conversation and are still able to put out good music and, interact, correctly and just kind of say, you know what, we did have a good run together. Let's just forget about the BS and, focus on us and what we can do, to keep the magic alive. So that's really cool.
I really think they have. Duff was calling and texting Steven all day yesterday saying how much he loves the new record. Congratulations, all this kind of stuff. He said he would do anything he could to support us. Slash did the same thing. So, yes, nothing but love from those guys.
Yeah, and I think that it's because it's a quality album or CD that there is that reaction to it. And, especially in the circle of musicians, when somebody doesn't put out something that's good, they'll kind of stay away from it and don't, put their stamp of approval on it or endorsement. And I think because the album is written extremely well, there are great song titles, and the production level and the musicianship, from top to bottom is on that album. So it's good. It's good to hear.
Oh, thank you.
No, you're welcome. If it was not a good album, I probably wouldn't have done the interview. So I think, and there are a lot of albums that have come on I've been asked, to interview, and it's just like I can't really put my heart and soul into it if I don't personally like it, and I have to like something in order to, talk about it and put time and effort into making sure that the interview gets out there to the masses. So, you guys need to pat yourselves on the back, and hopefully there's good recognition and where it needs to be as, being listed as one of the top albums. As I know it's the latter part of 2012, but maybe it'll carry over into, 2013. There should be at least some nominations for Best Hard Rock Album, whether it's on Revolver or any of these magazines or Revolver God Awards. You guys need to get that recognition as well.
Well, thank you. It's out there. We'll just see what happens.
Yeah, we'll let it all roll, as far as that goes, and I think the music will do the talking. Now, since this interview is going to be on fallenblue.org, which is a nonprofit organization for fallen police officers and their families, can you tell us about a positive experience with any, police officers that you've had in your day or in Stephen's day?
Oh, we appreciate the firemen and police officers, everything that they do. I know my own personal experience when I was younger. I got stuck out on this rock in Chicago. I was swimming with my brothers, and I didn't know how to swim that well. And I just got stuck out on this rock a little bit too far for my brothers to come help me. And this police officer that wasn't in clothes, without even hesitating, the water was so cold, he just jumped in with all of his clothes on and came out and picked me off this rock and carried me back. And from then on, I was like, man, this guy's a real hero. And he just walked away like nothing. And he's soaking wet clothes, and the water had to have been 40 degrees. It was so cold. And he just did. It was just a part of him. It was, you have to have that special hero gene to be both a fireman and a police officer, in my opinion.
No, you're exactly right. And what would have happened is the reason why fallenblue.org has come about, and they've opened up their concert benefit called Rock Harvest, which was a success this year for 2012, and maybe one day you guys can play it, either 2013 or 2014, is if that police officer would have been hurt or died or something detrimental, his family would have not received any benefits. So with this organization, it develops the awareness, and it's for charity, and it helps out families if something like that happens, because there is that gray line in there where if they're outside the line of duty and get hurt or killed, the family receives zero benefits.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know, and John was great putting that organization together and launching Rock Harvest to bring bands that want to play for a good cause and play for, a benefit, and the proceeds go to families that need it. So it's really good to hear you say that was an off-duty officer.
Yeah, because they don't turn it off. They've sworn an oath, and from the time they wake up and the time they go to bed, that's who they are.
Exactly. Now, we're going to close out the interview because I know you guys are very busy and you probably have a lot more to do. Is there anything that you want to say as far as in the closing to maybe get Steven in so he can add, his closing statement as well so we can wrap it up and get this out there to the masses?
Yeah, give me 1 second. He just went to grab a smoke. Hold on.
John.
Yeah, Lyle.
Oh,
It's okay.
I'm sorry. Miles, how are you? I'm so sorry. But
That's all right, man. I've been called worse on my day, so don't worry about it.
Well, you don't know that. I'm trying. Everybody already knows me. I'm trying to get my band out there because we're a band, and I really appreciate you giving me some of your time, giving us your time, and I really appreciate it. And anything that we can do, just what? Oh yeah, just help us, keep rock alive, and see if help us keep rock alive and buy our record Back from the Dead. That's how you write that.
Well, I was going to put that in my closing statements, but coming from you, I think it sounded a little bit better. So no, we're more than happy to send this out as far as we can go. And stay in touch with John and maybe to get you guys to do the Fallen Blue Rock Harvest, concert. I think that would be a good thing for you guys to play. A lot of musicians are there, and it's an awesome environment. I was talking to Lonny for a little bit about it.
Well, how do we get involved in it?
Well, we got to put you and John back together and get you there. There have been talks, and I don't know if he's got to contact your booking agent or whatever it is, but I'll talk to John today and open up the discussions. It's a little far out. It's November 13th. November 2013, and it's a little far out, but the lineup is all coming together. And this year we had Don Dawkins, Sean McNabb, Matt Starr, Doug Aldridge, Neil Turbin, and the list goes on. So it was great. There were a lot of all-star jams, and the reception was amazing. So I'll put you back together with John. I'll talk to him today and see if we can get something lined up, and it's just part of scheduling.
Yeah, that'll be great. Lonny, go ahead.
Yeah, have John talk with Doug, who set this interview up, and
Doug Weber.
And Doug will put you in contact with the right people.
And dude,
we're looking forward to it.
Listen, Miles, if you got a show, where we can do a performance, and it's a real show, and there's real money, or even if it's a benefit, but it's something real, we were more than happy to be glad to be part of it. And thank you for thinking of us.
No, it's you guys, as far as everything that goes, we're trying to make this in two elements. Bring in amazing musicians together, something that nobody will ever see, which that's how Rock Harvest 2012 came about with the All-Star Jam, something you'll never ever see again, even on most of these award shows, but also going to, and as I was talking with about how the Fallen Blue came about, it gets a lot of good recognition, a lot of write-ups, and the musicians that are part of it have fun, and they like it. So I know that the band would fit in extremely well there, and I think the reaction to having you guys play would be second to none, just amazing.
Well, we would love to do it. Get a hold of Doug Weber. Tell him all about it. All we do is play the music. Doug and Jason, they take care of the business. But we want to play everywhere and for everybody. And thank you so much for, giving us some of your time. We got a couple of interviews to do. Thank you again. All right, brother?
All right. Thanks, Steven. Thanks, Lonny. And be sure to catch Adler on tour. Pick up the album. This is Rockin' Hawkins, Steve Adler. Lonny signing off. Stay metal with Forever Metal. Have a great day, guys.
Rock Forever Metal, brother. Thank you.
Awesome. My pleasure.